Alright, today I'm going to be listening to Stranger in the Alps by Phoebe Bridgers. As always, the uncut reaction will be on Patreon. There will be a link in the description down below to go join that. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright, the first track is Smoke Signals. I have heard this track. This is the only track I've heard. So yeah, let's get into it. And I'm going to have the lyrics up for this reaction too, because I know she is a very talented songwriter and the lyrics matter a lot, so.
I went with you up to the place you grew up in. We spent a week in the cold, just long enough to waltz in it with you. Any longer it would've got old.
I love this chorus. That guitar.
You must have been looking for me. How soon is it now in an 80s sedan? You slept inside of it because your dad lived in a campground in the back of a van. You said that song will creep you out until you're dead. I wanna live at the Holiday Inn where somebody else makes the bed.
Love that line.
You must have been looking for me, sending smoke signals, pelicans circling, burning trash out on the beach.
Those faint drums in the back.
I am a concrete wall.
Subtle reverb. Masterpiece right there. Like I said, I've already heard that track. I think it was the first Phoebe Bridgers song I heard ever. I have heard Punisher. I don't know why I said it like that. I have heard Punisher. I really wish I reacted to that in a video because I love that album a lot. So this isn't like my first intro to Phoebe Bridgers. Yeah, the instrumentation is beautiful. I love the subtle strings that come in at some points. That do. That guitar is so sick. I don't know why. It's so satisfying every time it comes in. It's all built on this like super quiet like rhythm guitar just being strummed throughout the entire thing. There's some really faint drums that come in at some points. Overall, the production is super interesting on this album. Not this album, on this song. And yeah, I thought the production was super interesting on Punisher too. Like it's so stripped back, but there's also so much, like it's so hard to explain. It feels stripped back, but there's also a lot of stuff going on. It feels all just very low in the mix, if that makes sense at all. But lyrically, yeah, it's definitely about like a love interest, I guess. Smoke signals, form of communication, I guess, to try and get to this person. There's just a lot of great lines in here. I want to live at the Holiday Inn where someone else makes the bed. I don't know why. I really like that line too. And the chorus is great. Overall, it's a great track. Yeah, I'm excited to see where the rest of this album goes. We have Motion Sickness next, which is the most streamed on the album. Got a lot more life in this one.
You gave me 1,500 to see your hypnotherapist. I only went one time, you let it slide. I have emotional motion sickness.
Nice chorus.
Somebody roll the windows
really liking the groove on this one.
Somebody roll the windows down. You said when you met me, you were born. I have motion sickness. I try to stay clean and live without. And I wanna know what would happen if I surrender to the sound. Surrender to the sound.
Okay, I can see why that's the most streamed song on this album. It's catchy. I like the instrumental. Yeah, I overall just really like the sound of that track, and definitely a little bit more life to that than the first track, more upbeat. But lyrically, definitely not upbeat. Definitely talking about. I mean, I have emotional motion sickness, or I mean, obviously, it's another relationship song. Yeah, I like that line. You gave me 1,500 to see your hypnotherapist. I only went one time. It's just simple stuff like that. Like, these aren't like the most complex lines or like ideas, but they paint super good pictures in your head. And yeah, that chorus is good too. Yeah, so an upbeat sound, but definitely not some happy lyrics at all in this track. Yeah, I'm liking the writing too. I feel like having the lyrics up is doing them just. Maybe I should have the lyrics up in all reactions, because last reaction of that Black Country New Road had the lyrics up. Made me appreciate it a lot more, I feel like, than if I didn't. So yeah, maybe I'll do that from now on. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if it's like Playboy Cardi or something, I'm not going to have the lyrics up, obviously, because the lyrics are just not important at all in that music, in my opinion. But yeah, I might do it more this way, where I'm reading the lyrics. Overall, like the sound, like the writing. I really like Phoebe's voice. It's really calming and really gentle. And yeah. Super pleasing. I feel like I could listen to it for hours straight. It's just very peaceful. It's very peaceful. All right, let's keep going. Funeral. Almost some like shoegaze stuff here or something.
I'm singing at a funeral tomorrow for a kid a year older than me. And I have this dream where I'm screaming underwater while my friends are waving from the shore. And I don't need you to tell me what that means. Wishing I was someone else.
Ooh.
Feeling sorry for myself when I remembered someone's kid is dead.
Looping that back to the start of the track.
Jesus Christ, I'm so blue all the time.
Okay, at first I wasn't loving that track. I thought it was kind of basic, like the lyrical content of it. But when she looped it back around to the beginning of the track, where she was feeling down for herself, feeling blue, feeling depressed, and then wishing I was someone else, feeling sorry for myself just when I remembered someone's kid is dead. So looping it back to the beginning, that actually was a satisfying moment in the track. So yeah, that actually elevated the track quite a bit and made me kind of enjoy it. I wouldn't say it's as good as the first two. It's not nearly as catchy. It's more of not a ballad, but I don't know what the right word is, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I like overall the sentiment of the track. I mean, you can feel sorry for yourself, but pretty much all the time there's going to be someone else that's having it worse than you. So not to say that you can't feel down or stuff like that, but it's just a good way to put it in perspective. Yeah, overall just a well-constructed song. Instrumental was nice again, very gentle, serene, cohesive with what's been happening in this album so far, musically. And I will say, I don't think the songwriting is as strong as the stuff on Punisher. This is really making me wish that I reacted to Punisher more and more. But it's still it's still pretty solid. You can definitely see the foundation of something special, and then she definitely improved on it in Punisher. Let's keep going. Demi Moore is next.
Take a dirty picture, babe. I can't sleep and I miss your face in my hands and in my knees. Tell me what you wanna do to me. Tell me what you'll do, please. Said the sun was coming up and I laughed until I couldn't breathe.
I like that little synth. It's cool.
Now I'm too tired to go to sleep. Very often.
Okay. I like it. Still not as strong as the first two tracks, but yeah, it's okay, I guess. I mean, I don't really have a strong feeling towards this track at all. Take a dirty picture, babe. I mean, the first verse was kind of intriguing. I guess the whole idea of the song is kind of intriguing. I guess it's just about being stoned. Tell me what you want to do. Sending nudes, maybe? I'm guessing. Oh yeah, it literally says that in the intense song about getting high and sending nude pictures. Throughout the song, Bridgers travels the terrifying line of thought from feeling sexy and desired to feeling vulnerable and alone. Yeah, I don't want to be stoned. I don't want to be alone. So it goes from, okay. Yeah, it's a good track. Overall, not like the most memorable or hard-hitting track, but just pretty solid. Moving on to Scott Street. Let's go.
I've got a stack of mail and a tall can. It's a shower beer, it's a payment plan. Do you feel ashamed? I asked you how it's playing drums. You said it's too much shit to carry.
I like this. Wow, that was really good. That was probably the best track since the first two. Favorite musical moment too on that outro. Drums were sick. There was a sick little bass line in there. Loved those vocals. Lyrically, it's pretty strong too. Some funny kind of lines in here. How's it playing drums? Said it's too much shit to carry. I guess it's about another relationship, I'm guessing. I also liked when it said there's helicopters over my head. There was some weird like little synth thing that happened that kind of sounded like some sort of helicopter. Yeah, overall, really liked the sound of that track. Nice climactic like outro. But yeah, still a pretty sad song lyrically. I mean, this entire album so far has been pretty down and depressing lyrically. But yeah, I'm loving the sound too. Loving her singing, loving her voice, loving the instrumentation. Feels very live and natural, and production's good. It's an enjoyable experience so far. Killers next.
I scared you in your house. I even scared myself by talking about Dahmer on your couch. Can the killer me tame the fire?
Some more male vocals. Saw that a lot in Punisher.
Nothing left to do for us.
Like that little reverse piano. Sick.
When a machine keeps me alive and I'm losing all my hair, I hope you kiss my rotten head and pull the plug. Know that I've burned every playlist and I've given all my love. And there's nothing I can do. And there's nothing I can do.
That was really good. I like how there's no chord to resolve it at the end there. Yeah, lyrically it was very depressing again, but beautiful at times too. I loved that. I loved the second verse. When my mind is barely there, when a machine keeps me alive, losing all my hair. Hope you kiss my rotten head, pull the plug. Know that I've burned every playlist and given all my love. Very depressing and almost like paints this picture of like a dystopian like future for some reason, in my mind at least. Overall, pretty depressing song, and you have that male vocalist coming in again, which he did quite a bit on Punisher, kind of to have this duet kind of feel to it, and him being, I guess, like the other person in the relationship. And that first verse too, talking about Dahmer on your couch, it's just kind of funny and witty, but also kind of sad at the same time. Yeah, another great track. Cool stuff. George is next. Oh, I like that. That's cool.
Georgia, Georgia, I love your son. And when he gets older, he might be the one.
I love that distorted guitar in the back.
And
So good.
sometimes in the pouring rain, he'll fall in the mud and
It strangely has like some Kanye influence with that guitar and these drums coming in. These drums are sick.
Here is my day plan, here's my new machine.
There's that machine going back to that from the previous track.
Will you have me or watch me fall? If I fix you, will you hate me?
These drums are so sick. Okay, musically, like the most different track so far. Like I said, some weird like Kanye influence, but I think it actually worked. Those drums coming in, super sick. I love that distorted guitar in the back. Some cool like ethereal synth stuff going on top of it. And yeah, another relationship song here. But yeah, definitely a different tone to this one. Kind of her seeking validation and being kind of self-conscious, I guess. If I fix you, will you hate me? And yeah, she kind of went back to that idea of the machine. I mean, maybe she's referring to this guy as the machine now, but kind of a cool callback there to the previous track. Yeah, not much else to say about it. I enjoyed that track. Musically, it might actually be my favorite. I think it was just pretty different from everything else, but it also still felt pretty like not too out of place. It still felt like it fit the overall vibe and sound of the album. But it really just came down to those drums that really set it apart. Georgia is next. Or wait, no, I'm an idiot. We just listened to Georgia. Freaking dum-dum over here. Chelsea is next.
For a chemical imbalance, you sure know how to ride a train. Your revolution is a deathbed, and the music is your maid. And you spit the blood back, baby. I'm amazed that you're alright.
Got some sort of like rain stick in there.
For so long,
I'm liking this.
boy, I won't be home with you tonight.
Little shaker.
And for generations they'll romance us, make us more or much less than ever.
Some cool drums again. Wow.
And you spit the blood back, baby. I'm amazed that you're alright.
I like that melody. Spit the blood.
And you can call a service back.
Heavy kick in there.
When we stay at the Chelsea Hotel.
Another really good track. Song is about Nancy Spungen. Don't know if I'm saying that right. Who was killed in 1978 by then boyfriend Sid Vicious of the Sex Pistols. I had no idea that even happened. So yeah, there's been a couple tracks now that have been kind of focused on death and the idea of death, like that track Killer as well. So that's definitely a very like prominent theme in this album so far. So yeah, I guess just trying to make sense of how someone could kill someone. You are somebody's baby. Like, yeah, it's not like it's so hard to like analyze this because I feel like the lyrics aren't like super. I thought they were going to be like more difficult to decipher and stuff like that, but it's like you can pretty much understand what's happening on a first listen pretty easily. I mean, there is obviously going to be some deeper stuff hidden in these lyrics, but it's like it's kind of a hard album to react to, I feel like, because it's not in your face. It's very subdued, and then the lyrics are kind of just like, I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying there's not that much like in-depth stuff that you can go into on a first listen. I feel like it's kind of just very like literal. She just lays it out, tells it how it is. I mean, I do appreciate how the sound is kind of switching up on these past two tracks with some weird drums coming in, some sub bass and some weird like kicks in that track that I actually enjoyed quite a bit. Yeah, I do like how the sound is kind of switching up here. Would You Rather is next.
You always say that you prefer to drown. Come to find out,
I'm a can on a string, you're on the end.
we found our way out.
Okay, apparently this is the guy from Bright Eyes. Immediately recognized his voice when I heard it.
I'm a can on a string, you're on the end.
We found our way out.
Of a suicide pact of our family and
I'm sorry, this is my least favorite track. I'm just not a big fan of this dude's vocals, honestly. I don't think they fit over this instrumental at all. Maybe I gotta listen to more Bright Eyes, but I'm not really enjoying his vocals. There's something about like the nasally kind of quality to it. That's what his voice sounds like, by the way. Not really vibing with this.
In the background, I'll be waiting.
Not a huge fan of that track. Not a huge fan. Obviously, lyrically, it's pretty important, talking about domestic violence. And Genius also says that it's about her childhood home that burnt down and her brother was accused of starting the fire, which is a crazy, crazy story. Yeah, it just really comes down to the vocals of this dude. I don't think he really fit the instrumental well. And their vocals together didn't really go together. Like there was no, I don't know, it didn't work for me. Not taken away from the lyrics, it's just it just comes down to this dude. Yeah, I bet all the Bright Eyes fans, if there's any watching this, are gonna be peeved, but yeah, not for me. Didn't like the vocals. You Missed My Heart, 6-minute track. This is a cover, apparently.
sitting there, drinking coke and whiskey in her bra and underwear. Saw him in the kitchen, hanging up the phone. I asked him nicely once to pack his things and go. He gave her a reassuring look, said he wouldn't leave, but I asked him one more time. This time pulled out my sheath, stuck him in the back, and I pulled it out slow, and I watched him fall down. And as the morning sun rose, he looked at me. He said, "You missed my heart, you missed my heart, you got me good, I knew you would," were his last words before he died.
Wow. Lyrically, this track is amazing.
Looking out the window, up at the blue sky, listening to her scream. Chased her up the stairs and I pinned her to the ground. And underneath her whimpering I could hear a siren sound. I rattled off a list of all the things I miss, like going to the movies with her and the way she kissed me. She said, "That's quite a list, but there's one thing you missed. You missed my heart, you missed my heart. That's quite a list, but what you really missed, you missed my heart, you missed my heart. That's quite a list, but what you really missed." They strapped me in the gurney, took me off to the infirmary, where the priest read my last rites. And just before everything went dark, I said, "He missed my heart, he missed my heart, he got me good, I knew he would, but he missed my heart, he missed my heart." And just before everything went dark, downriver from the Moundsville prison graveyard, downriver from the Moundsville prison graveyard. Downriver from the Moundsville prison graveyard.
All right, gonna let it go into the last track. Okay, there you go. That was Phoebe Bridgers' Stranger in the Alps. Talk about the second last track for a little bit. I think it was the strongest lyrical moment on the album. I mean, which kind of says something because it was a cover. It wasn't technically her writing, but yeah, you can definitely see like she's not like the greatest writer of all time in this. She definitely got better on Punisher in my opinion. But I gotta hear the original of this cover because lyrically it was amazing. I think she performed it really well too. I would have to once again listen to the cover and see if her take on it is if she like kept the integrity of the track. But yeah, just the imagery in this and just the storytelling, and it's dark, it's beautiful, it's haunting, it's it's just like, it's everything, man. It's everything you can ask for in a track. That was a great ending, and I liked that little reprise at the end too there. Overall, I wouldn't say this was a perfect album. I think the songwriting at times could have been a little bit stronger. And I think every track being relationship themed, for me at least, gets a little bit tired, but it's like, it's not the worst thing ever. Overall, I really enjoyed this album. I don't think it's as good as Punisher, obviously, but I think it's still pretty solid. It's definitely not perfect. There's some moments that were a little bit slow and a little bit boring at times, but overall the songwriting was pretty intriguing. I'm really just a fan of her singing overall. It's very calming, gentle, and yeah, it's just it's a nice voice, and it's great instrumentation as well throughout this entire thing. Overall, just a pretty solid debut. This is her debut, right? Let me make sure I'm not spitting lies here. I think it is, yeah. I think it is. She had an EP after this in 2018, and then Punisher, obviously. So yeah, pretty solid for a debut, honestly. Pretty solid. Favorite track was probably Smoke Signals. That riff is just beautiful. I love everything about that track. It's just a very solid track. It might be my favorite Phoebe Bridgers song of all time, now that I've heard both her albums. So yeah, overall, pretty solid album. Let me know what you guys think of this album down below. Let me know if you want me to do more of Phoebe Bridgers. I mean, boy genius. It's with her, Julian Baker, and Lucy Dacus. But overall, really enjoyed it. Phoebe Bridgers, Stranger in the Alps. Solid debut. The Uncut will be on Patreon, so go join that if you want. And you also get access to all the other Uncut reactions as well, so consider doing that. And yeah, leave a like if you want, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.